Thank you for joining. Let's get to work. Thank you for joining. All right, we are going to look at the markets falling. Crypto markets are taking a little bit of a dive, as a lot of us expected. A little bit of a sell-off. I'm going to talk a little bit about my levels, what I'm watching, my orders, and not getting greedy. Not getting too greedy. I want to get greedy, but not too greedy. Let me pull this background music off here. You know what? I'm going to do something. I'm just going to play some Guardians of the Galaxy soundtrack in the background. I feel like some oldies, and I have a pretty good mix of oldies. Alright. Well, hi everybody. Nope, we just got started. Yep, 1-2 ADA. That's what I got my orders on. Alright, let's talk about this Bitcoin chart real fast. Alright, so I had some Heath lines up here. That one's still valid because it's a daily open today, right? We had a close down here. So that daily close is going to be our new structure that we're watching for the market to overtake it. For me anyway. So that's a line that I'll be watching closely to see if we hold here. That's going to be a level to watch. The next level I'm watching is right below it. We're sandwiched right here. So this little bit of, let's see, right at 18.2 is another level to kind of keep an eye on. Now that structure has been blown up, but that one big candle right there, we had this little top right there at that trend line. So two levels to watch. This probably, we've got that level. If you go back here, it wicked up to there too. And then this prime trend line here. Now earlier I was playing with them on my phone. I'm going to make this a bigger trend line. I was playing with it on my phone and I didn't delete a trend line, but at this point it doesn't matter. This is the trend line we're watching. I personally think, should we lose this level, this 17.1 isn't going to prove to be much resistance. We'll get a bounce, and then 16 is the big one, and here's why, personally. I think the crypto markets watch some of the same levels I do, frankly. The reason I use the simple moving averages for key levels for me is because so many people watch them, and institutions. If we're talking about institutional money being involved in Bitcoin now, institutions watch simple moving averages. They just do. That's why I use them. Hey, Matt, JC, Tan, what's going on? Hello, hello. So, this is why I watch simple moving averages. It's that simple. And I like to keep my trading simple. I like to look at price only, but I want to look at other levels that other traders are going to be looking at, especially if institutions are getting involved now. That's what institutions also, they watch this moving averages. Alright, so I think this 50-day lining up with that 16.2 level is going to be, and you see here we had a lot of action right there at that 16.2 on that last sell-off. I think, no, I'm sorry, I was wrong. That's the 17.1, that's that line here. The 16.2 level has some other historical significance back here, I believe. Let's go back and look at it. Is the music too loud for you guys, or is it okay? I don't want to make it distracting. I just put a little bit something on in the background because I'm kind of in a good mood that I'm getting at least some bit of a sell-off here. I can finish getting repositioned back into Bitcoin now, which is what I wanted. Alright, a couple of Heath levels. It's probably why we're finding some support here with this trend line. Let's go down to the 4-hour, just look at some other structure of the market structure here. Yeah, so we opened the day, I think, back here, closed way down here. We're going to get a bounce, obviously, but that strong of a downward close, momentum is going to want to carry it lower, I think. Now, we may hold here. If we hold here, I'm going to be watching my 12-hour chart. If we hold here, compress, kind of consolidate, and ping pong around here for the next day or so, I might take a small, a little bit here as we break back above this level, this 18.3, and then I will probably get back in pretty heavy at 18.9. That's my not being greedy. If we hold here and we just end up ping ponging here for a little bit, and then we take out this level, and especially this 19,188, we're going up to that all-time high to retest it, and that'll give us the ability to put, you know, stops at break even at least if we do get another sell-off. That's kind of my play right now. What would I do? I don't know what I did. Howdy, Matt. Can y'all hear me okay? Alright. Now, I'm looking at a bunch of other charts here too, obviously. Now, I've had this 488 level as my critical level, and we barely touched that perfectly, and I got some fills at 488 this last time. Now, unfortunately, I did sell. I did sell a little bit of ETH at the 620 rejection, I did. So, I'm waiting to try to buy it back at 488 once again. I won't, again, with Ethereum, I'm not going to get greedy because Ethereum's upside right now is bigger than even Bitcoin's, right? So Bitcoin's testing its all-time high, and Ethereum's nowhere near its all-time high. So Ethereum's the next one to make a run to its all-time high, kind of like what Bitcoin just did. So I'm not going to get greedy with Ethereum. I'm going to get back in at 488. If we drop, you know, to a really significant level, I think 320 is the level I was watching. It's real. The 120 is at 420. Oh, I was turning back on the 200s for some of these alts. They're getting down to the 200. Yeah, when we get down this prime trend line right here, between the 120 and the prime trend line, I would add again. I would go overweight on ETH down here in this whole area. Yeah, 488. I'm gonna not be greedy. I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna ride it out. If we hit this trend line, it looks real solid on a resumption out of here. I'm taking more. I'm going overweight. All right, Link. Link has been under a lot of pressure. I've got that project. I've been researching API 3. After researching API 3, I don't feel so scared about it versus Link, honestly. I've done a decent amount of reading up on it now. I think it's more a concurrent project than a competitor at this very stage in the game, so I'm not too worried about Link being under pressure from too much competition right now. There will be competition, but they're still the leader in the space. I have my order right now. I have my order at 11.50, and man, we got within 8 cents, 9 cents of it. So I had I get stopped out. I think right here, 12.60 probably. I got stopped out, and I said I was going back to Bitcoin. So I think I am back in Bitcoin, but for that a little bit. But I do have plenty of stable coin, so I have an order in at 11.50 with my stable coin. Okay. ADA, yeah, so I bought some. I already bought 2 lots, or whatever. I just made 2 purchases. Every time it drops below 15, I buy. So I think I got a purchase right there. And then it dropped below 14, so I made these are little bitty purchases. I mean, nothing too significant. So I have my little private staking pool. I'm just trying to get him built up. And then I'm going to keep adding on ADA because I'm just going to I've got a couple different wallets I want to fill up with a reasonable amount and just hold, you know, I'm starting to fill up my staking my wallet that I'm going to have that's not on my own node, that's staking externally just to have some redundancy. Yeah, ADA, I would love for us, I mean, if we do get this bigger sell-off in Bitcoin, ADA is going to just tank down here to 11 or 10, and I will buy a bunch. You know, right around here, if it ever gets down there, I would go overweight on it, but I'm not overweight on it by any means for what I want to hold on it. So I have my order in it, I think at 12.8 on my Binance order is sitting right there somewhere. I think right in here, yeah. My Binance order is like right there. And it's been sitting there. I've had that order for a long time. So ever since we retook out of here, and I only got a piece, I got a good fill here, and I was waiting to see if we came down to 10, that last sell-off. So I took some of my order I had off at 12 because it was coming in so fast, and we never got down there. So I just moved that order. I've just moved that order right up to here. Okay. Evening, Craig. Yeah, Craig, what I started with is I'm trying not to get too greedy on all this. I do have my targets back on the upside. I will be back if we hold this trend, if we hold any level, whatever level it is, on the next resumption up, I'm fully back into Bitcoin. And if we have another sell-off, I may have some stops on my trading accounts, and I may try to reposition accordingly. But I will be back fully in Bitcoin, one way or the other, off of this sell-off. So either we resume up and I start adding at these levels here as we break out of them, and then I'll be 100% in. Like somewhere right around this level, I'd be 100% back in. I fully expect us to break down and hit one of these 2 levels. I still think this is my prime. I think I'm going to go ahead and be mostly in here and not get too greedy. I still think we're coming down here. I really do. That's just my opinion. But that difference isn't too big to me. I'd rather just be in and be happy that I got fully back in and just watch this bounce. The thing about it is if we do get this big sell-off to here, Bitcoin's going to sell off less than alts. So I'll be in here fully. As this sells off, once Bitcoin makes its rally back off of here, alts are going to start to pump somewhere in here. And that's when I'll just be taking trades out of my Bitcoin base account into alts to help me kind of juice my returns there. That's kind of my plan. So that's why I will be fully in at this 50-day. I just decided to go ahead and just, based on these market moves, you know, what is that sell-off? That is it's right at an 18%, 20% sell-off. So, which would make sense, right? So maybe, and here's kind of what I'm thinking. I know Jordan said this on the stream. Maybe things are different a little bit. You know, when you look at this, the S&P 500, where institutions play a lot. Now, outside of this liquidity crisis, our normal sell-offs, institutional buyers do like to buy up dips right around 20%. So you get these 20% dips, and like the S&P and the major indexes that institutions do play in, and it's more of a 20% correction. And it happens, 15 to 20% fairly often. But then when you have institutional money, that's the normal dip. But the upside is a little bit more capped because of that. They're more silent buyers. They're not like frenzied buyers like retail is. So that may also make our grind up slower, but we may only get 20% pullbacks because of the institutions, and I'm starting to see that. This is why on this next leg down, I'm not going to get too greedy and I'm going to get back in. It's rather safe than sorry on this one. So I don't know if anybody else has any requests of what they want to look at. So I've been researching. So VeChain, I know about VeChain for a long time. I saw a bunch of news on them recently, and the chart looks pretty good. So I started reading up on some of their news. They've got some good partnerships. They've got some good companies that they're starting to work with and partner with. I read an article. I forget what company it was. They were talking about they deployed VeChain for some of their a VeChain application built on VeChain for some of their supply chain logistics, and they said it was easier to deploy than the industry-leading IBM solution. And so, it was interesting getting that perspective from them. So VeChain, I am in. I did take a entry on this breakout somewhere. I don't know where exactly. It's a small position. It was just a breakout position, and we never really got. I guess no. I did take a retest resumption right here. Yes. So I think I've got two positions on this one. So I took maybe a small, no, I think I only took the retest resumption. That's what it was. So I took this somewhere in here. This is a daily chart. This is a daily, that's why it's looking weird to me. Yeah, I took an entry somewhere in here. Maybe right here. SUSHI, SUSHI is a decentralized exchange. Been watching that. It's starting to break down out of this little channel I drew. I posted this chart earlier. We're at to resistance. I think we break that resistance, then we might have some interesting times. ALGO broke down on me. I got stopped out. I'm back in Bitcoin on that. Evening. Any requests? Yeah, I mean, Bitcoin's finding some support here. I do think, like it happened earlier, we were fighting with, before this little leg down we had, we were fighting with this level right here for quite a bit. Actually, no, I took the line off my chart. It was this right here. That's what we were fighting with for a while, and then once that snapped, we were down. So I think we're fighting with this, and we'll see if we snap and go down, or if we go up. If we resume up, I need to keep this level on my chart. Actually, this is a good place to add. If we hold here, retest resumption, add some there, add some on breakout, add some there, as it stair steps up. That's definitely what I'll be looking to do. So if we don't break down and we continue on, I'll get back in. I saw that on VeChain compared to IBM. Really promising for this bull run. Yeah, Nick. Cool. You saw that same thing? Yeah. It was on Cointelegraph or something. Alright, I wasn't going to make this a long episode. So tomorrow, those of us who've been trying, I sold like half of my GBTC up in here. So I bought a tiny bit right there. I'll be pretty aggressively. Same thing. We all knew a sell-off was coming. This one happened much faster and came back much faster than all of us expected, so none of us got properly positioned back in on that last Bitcoin sell-off. This is our opportunity, regardless of what happens. If we get support and resume up here, or if we break down, I'm getting fully back in either way. I think we're going to break down. All right. I don't know if y'all care about this, but I was working on this earlier. I'll just give everybody on this who's live a preview, and I need to edit my other one last night. So I'm trying to put a little bit more production quality into my videos. I've got a crypto wallets oversimplified video, and I've got a fresh setup, but just I put together my own little slides here to kind of illustrate what these elements are, so that and I have some notes on it. So I'll be working on this. I was going to try to get this video out today, but it's just trying to get good images and making good notes to keep that video nice and short. Has been more work than I thought. But I'm going to put out this crypto wallets oversimplified in the next day or two. I do have a really cool demo. I'm going to break it up in 2 videos, I've decided, because I want this just to be people that just want to learn a little bit about what the wallet is, without a review of a wallet. And then I'm going to do a review of my favorite wallet combination, which is Exodus. I've got this dummy Exodus account here. I'm not going to type my password for you guys. Hold on. But I've got it paired with a Ledger Nano, if I can remember my password. I've got it paired with a Ledger, like Ledger Nano. Not Ledger, I mean a, what's it called? What is this thing? The Trezor 1 Ledger name. I have a. So I got this Trezor 1 over here with this. So I'm going to show how like the Trezor is paired. I don't have anything on the Trezor. It's totally wiped out. And I just put threw a little bit of ADA on here just to show everybody how the staking and stuff worked. That'll be a separate video. So yeah, so this will be one video just like very simply explaining what is your wallet. Basically explain that you're not storing the gold itself. That's on the distributed ledger. You're storing your identity, and explaining. I'm trying to use very simple terms and analogies to explain it so that people that are not techie will at least have an understanding of what they're getting involved in. That's my goal. Just to help people that want to get involved that just don't want to be a technical expert. And then yeah, I have to sanitize this demo some as best I can. I probably should. Maybe I should edit out what I just put up on the screen, because I don't know how all the compliance laws work if I'm having anything up like that. So I don't know. I'm gonna take screenshots though of all the setup of this. But yeah, the Exodus wallet with a Trezor is really cool because the Trezor does the private. You can store your private keys in the Trezor for cryptos that are supported by it, and you can use the front end. Exodus has a bunch of. Let me just go to Exodus wallet. They have a bunch of, so that you can pair your Exodus wallet with your phone. So what I like about it is, as I was going through this, working on this video, I realized my wife has been needing access to all my crypto stuff just because I've got so much money in it. And so what's really cool about Exodus is you can pair it with desktop mobile hardware, so so I can have her mobile device also paired to this, so if anything ever happened to me, she still has access to everything via her device. So yeah, this has built-in exchange, so it's got exchange functionality, so you can on your wallet exchange currencies. What else is there? But it's got a bunch of different currencies. Staking's automatic. It automatically selects the best pool, so you don't even think about it. So this is the wallet that I've been, and I haven't been using it a whole lot because I've got all my ADA and stuff on. I've got my Bitcoin on another hardware wallet. It's entirely separate, and I've got my ADA and everything on all the ADA specific, like Daedalus and Yori wallets for staking. But Exodus now supports staking, so I need to be moving stuff there. Crypto wallets will be good. I need this education for sure, especially non-Bitcoin requires some third-party services. Anything regarding transferring to hardware wallets is welcome. Yeah, so. The thing about anytime you transfer to any wallet, I mean, like, it's looking at this. You know, don't oversimplify. I mean, don't overcomplicate it in your head. Like, all you're doing, a wallet is tied to this private key that your computer generates this private key for you. So, you know, it goes to this key generation capability, and it produces a public key and a private key. And the public key can be used for people. This is what's important, right? So as I go through this video I'm going to put together tomorrow, what's important is your private key is almost like a signet ring that they used to use back hundreds of years ago. The king would have a signet ring. It had a very special marking, and he would seal it like a wax, like seal a letter or decree or something with the wax. And so that's what you basically have with your private key. It's like a signet ring, and you seal your, if you want to sign a transaction on the blockchain, you sign it with that special key. All right. So what was my point in saying that? So yeah. So the private key is really, and the wallet address, that's your wallet, right? And so anytime you transfer funds anywhere, you're transferring from one wallet to another. And so if you're going to transfer from an exchange to a hardware wallet, all you're doing is transferring it from one wallet address, which has a public and private key, to another wallet address, which has a different public and private key. So if you're going to transfer funds, transferring funds to a hardware wallet is the same as transferring funds to any other wallet or from exchanges. If it's an on-chain transaction, all you're doing is you're signing from one private key to send funds from one wallet to another wallet. That's all you're doing. So anyway, I don't know. I'll make this much simpler tomorrow. So that's about all I wanted to go over. I'll take a look at these charts, levels. So I've got my order in. I'm being greedy right now. I've got my limit order in at 16,240 for overnight in case this breaks down while I'm sleeping. If it breaks down while I'm sleeping, we're either going to stop here and consolidate and head back up, or we're coming down. We're just going to slice through. I don't know. But if it starts to recover tomorrow, I don't think it's going to just shoot up and rocket off. So I'm just going to hold off and make it into account. Of course, I don't have any money on here, so I don't think it really matters. No, I was just going to look at something now that I thought of it. Coinbase Pro is the best place. I don't think I have any funds on here anyway. Coinbase Pro is the best place to see your level 2 data. Look at that. Look. So, yeah, let's go back out. So here's that sell wall at 20,000. There's not like a significant buy wall specifically, but right there, that 17, it's about 17.5. It really starts we have a little. Let's go back to the chart. Right here, there's some orders sitting right there at that level. It's interesting, just note that. I'm going to put that on my chart. Right about there's some orders. Yeah, that's interesting. This is where I go to check kind of the depth. Because, most people, this is still, Binance is the number one in volume, but I believe. Pretty sure. Get off my screen. Alright, well, we're at 300. Let's see if this is going to act as resistance now that we broke down. But I don't know what kind of close we've had below that level on the 4 hour. Yeah, only a 4 hour. So we've only flipped a 4 hour. So really, on an 8 or a 12. No. Yeah, it did roll over because that was a daily. That was a daily close. That's right. I forgot about that. Yeah, so since the daily close was here, that's going to act as resistance. So if you look very closely. Let's just go back to the 8 hour. We'll be able to see what the daily close actually was closely. There it is right there. So that's going to act as a resistance for a bit since we closed there and then fell below it. 18,316 is our resistance for the short term. You can see, so the daily close is actually this little 1 hour candle here. Right, 889, yeah, on my chart. So there's your resistance right there. So we'll see how this plays out. Alright guys, good night everybody. I will be, I'll work on this crypto wallets oversimplified tomorrow, and then I'm going to do a separate video for a review of a couple of wallets. Namely, I think I'm going to focus mostly on how you set up Exodus with a Trezor, but I'll talk about Ledger, and I'll talk about a bunch of like specific wallets. Alright guys, good night. Take care.